Hello, and welcome to the No and Iron podcast with your host, Lily Busby. This week, I am joined by Byrne. Eden is a long COVID advocate, and she is here today to spread awareness of the condition, emphasising the fact that it's not just older people being affected. But firstly, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so hi everybody. I'm Eden. I'm 20. I live in Belfast. And I am a social activist. Really, that's what I sort of spend my days doing. I've had long COVID since March 2022. And I got reinfected in October 2023, and I've had a lot of different symptoms. The main one being the chronic fatigue. But I sort of use it as my drive to sort of make change and help spread awareness. But yeah, thanks for having me on.
What has your experience sort of been like with long COVID?
It's honestly been really difficult. I've had a lot of sort of challenges to overcome, especially in terms of education and sort of the social life as well. I recently had to drop out of university due to getting reinfected, and I was struggling with managing my symptoms and the support of the university as well. I had long COVID during my A-levels, so exam support and managing revising and stuff like that was really difficult. And in terms of social aspects, I've become quite isolated really. It's really hard trying to get out and about, meet new people and sort of have that sort of 20-year-old lifestyle, especially with a chronic health condition.
And how have you coped with this sudden change of lifestyle?
So I have found my way of adapting by helping others really. I do a lot of different volunteering with different charities, including like long COVID charities, long COVID kids and long COVID support. And that's really helped me come to terms with like what my challenges are and dealing with the illness, but also helped me to meet new people who have similar experiences and other young people as well, because it can be really isolating and really hard. But that's sort of where my energy is used now, instead of probably what I would be doing, going out and socialising and going to uni. I use it to help others. And I really enjoy it and really get a benefit out of it.
And what has it been like to meet people with similar experiences to you?
I'm not alone, that other people are experiencing it. I mean, I know it's really hard that people have to go through it, but it sort of gives you some sort of clarity and closure that you're not on your own and that it's real, because obviously long COVID is such a new illness and it's so different, and there's not a lot of research done around the long-term impact of it. Just having those people who know what it is like and are there for you, really, it's really helpful.
At the start, how did you realise that the COVID you had wasn't like the COVID that other people were getting around you?
So how I noticed that I'd developed long COVID was because, well, I got it. I got initial infection in February, and then in March, I basically spent the whole of March in bed from that initial infection in February. And then obviously I knew from then that there was something not right. I was getting heart palpitations and really struggling to breathe, and I had to go to A&E a few times to get checked. And then I sort of knew from then, when I gradually did get back to school, that things were really hard. I was falling asleep trying to revise on the floor, and I had to plan everything out and make sure wake up even earlier so that I could revise in the mornings. And then I sort of knew from that point that I wouldn't be ready to go to university out September. So I took a gap year and managed to use that gap year to do lots of volunteering and work on recovery, which is still a work in progress.
Would you feel sort of affected by long COVID every day, or would it just be some days?
Yeah, it's every day. It really does have an impact on my physical health, my mental health, and yeah, basically my everyday functioning really. But in terms of degrees of how each day is different, and each week, even each hour is different. You have to sort of pace yourself and sort of work out what you can and can't do every day, and that can change. You might have plans to do something one day, or think you're going to do something and then you just can't because you're too tired or too sore. It's just really taking each day as it comes.
Have you had any support from the long COVID clinics that have been set up?
Yes, so there's a local long COVID clinic here, and that's linked to GPs as well, obviously. And they have a range of different supports, so like physios and OTs. And I had varying degrees of experiences with health professionals. I would say some of them can be quite supportive and really help me with that initial start with uni and stuff, and navigating support systems to be put in place before I start. But on the flip side, I've also had some quite negative experiences with sort of the lack of belief and stigma around being a young person with it and not being believed, which can be quite disheartening. But I think having long COVID has really helped me navigate the healthcare system and sort of work out how to speak to different healthcare professionals.
Was it like the doctors not believing you?
Yeah, GPs and also physios. And yeah, it was quite disheartening. And even some of the language they would use to sort of talk to me about it, which is quite crazy considering that they are trained to be working with people with this illness. It was quite shocking actually to hear some of the stuff that they were saying, but you sort of have to work out how you manage that and how you sort of try and see a different perspective of it.
And was there anything that they did for you on site?
Yes, so I had an appointment with a physio, a respiratory physio, and we went through some breathing exercises, and he gave me a list of different ones to try out at home, which has helped. And then there was also the OTs helped me with the uni support and talking around sort of my lifestyle choices, and they were really helpful. And then the GPs were there to talk about sort of the symptoms I was experiencing, the muscle pain and like the arthritis type symptoms as well.
And would anyone have like any sort of misconceptions about long COVID?
Yeah, definitely. I think the main one is that they don't believe in it. They think that it's linked to anxiety or depression, or that people are making it up. And also that it doesn't affect young people, which is not true, because I've met loads of young people who it affects, and it will continue to, unfortunately, affect young people. And yeah, it's pretty awful to think that there are those stereotypes out there, but due to a lack of understanding and a lack of, having met people with experience like that.
I sort of noticed the NHS does seem to provide a digital support for people with long COVID, with apps and with educational videos, AI, webinars. What are your thoughts on these?
Yeah, I think they're definitely trying, which is more than probably could have been said a few years ago, because it was so new and people weren't sure how to react. But I can see that there is progress now, and there's a lot of more research and articles coming out around long COVID and its impact. And I've actually recently written an article for the Lancet Medical Journal with another young person that's getting published in a few weeks around our experiences. So hopefully that will have some benefits and do some good when it's come out. And I know long COVID kids are doing a lot of work with different charities and universities and researchers, and they've made an educational toolkit for schools and universities and colleges to use to help support young people and children with long COVID. And that's a really great resource. It has videos and website links, and is really useful.
And what would you like to see being done in the future?
Well, I really like to see more research into what would help people being done, and I think that will come over time. I'm really hopeful that there'll be more discoveries and more sort of testing done and trials done. But I'd also really like to see a lot more understanding around not just long COVID, but other sort of chronic health conditions, invisible disabilities, and more people speaking out about the impact of that, and that it's having on their lives and their loved ones' lives, and people they know, because the only way people are going to know about it is if people talk about it and reduce that stigma around talking about it.
What was it like to sort of face an illness that was quite new at the time?
I think it can be quite isolating. It can be really challenging, actually, and there's a lot of uncertainty around it, and especially around what the future is going to be like. And there will be research done and adoptions made and how long recovery is going to take. I mean, it's nearly been 2 years for me. I know a lot of people who've had it since the whole pandemic started, so nearly 4 years now, which is crazy to think. So yeah, it's kind of a lot of uncertainty around it, and obviously you can feel quite isolated, and because of the negative stereotypes as well, it makes you feel even worse about the situation. But I think meeting other young people who have it and sharing your views and sort of channeling your sort of activism role and participating in research, trying to make a difference in what you can with the services, and basically being your own sort of self-advocate is really important, and it's really helped me come through the difficult days.
And what would you advise to those who are facing a similar situation to you?
Just try your best to keep going, really. I know it can be really tough and incredibly isolating, and really your life isn't always your own. You feel like sometimes you don't have any control over it. And I'd say just to say no. You know, if things are really hard for you and you're trying to do everything at once and you're putting your own health at risk, and you're not you're always like you feel like you're letting people down and stuff, it's okay to say no. Your health's important, and it's important for you to work out what you can't do, and try not to feel bad. I find this really difficult, and always worry about letting people down and, you know, not doing what you can, but prioritize your health and try your best. And if you're really finding it really isolating and really tough, then reach out for support. There's other young people out there and other people out there who are having similar experiences. And I'd also say to find a new passion. I mean, my passion was taekwondo, and that was basically a huge part of my life. But now my passions are volunteering and helping other young people and having my say.
And have you any plans for 2024?
Yeah, so for 2024, I'm hoping to, with the Long COVID Kids charity, we're hoping to do a podcast and talk to other like healthcare professionals about our experiences. And I'm hoping to do a lot of more youth voice work with the different charities I'm involved in, and maybe restart university in September next year. I enjoy speaking to others about sort of my experiences, and that sort of gradually became easier over time, I think. If you'd asked me a year ago to maybe talk about all the stuff that I've been through in the last nearly 2 years, I would have said no. But no, I sort of really use it as my drive. I just really want changes to be made, and young people to know that they're not alone, and that there is other young people experiencing similar things. And hopefully I'll get to do a lot more work in 2024 talking around that.
And final question, regarding changes, is there any changes you would like to see made, whether that be through the NHS or the government or anything?
Well, definitely more focus around sort of treatments. I'd also like to see a lot of more education in schools, not just on long COVID, because I think the other chronic illnesses and invisible disabilities sort of get overlooked as well, and also in universities as well, not just schools, universities too. In terms of sort of lecture support, because I know I definitely struggled with there not being that much support in university, and maybe also like opportunities there for other young people to interact with people with chronic illnesses and like disabilities. Drop-in sessions or support groups or something like that, I think would be really useful, especially for those sort of initial stages too, to know that you're not alone.
Well, thank you so much for coming on to the episode, and until next time, stay tuned and we'll talk later.